we'll start with the opening statement from Coach, then open up to questions. Coach, whenever you're ready.
I think it will help to watch that back. I don't want to say too many things. We just really didn't play very well, quite honestly. Especially, I think that top group. The bench came in and really helped us, the young guys, which was great. Obviously, Indya, she just continues to be the senior version of Indya that we need. But she's someone we can really start to trust that this is who she is and this is how she's going to compete and lead. And Ciera, what, another game with 12 rebounds? That's what I'm talking about. Come a long way. So yeah, we'll. This is all part of the journey. I know we got a young group. We're gonna have to play better, for sure, from the start.
Questions.
Coach, I know you said you got to watch it back and you'll be able to learn a lot of things, but just kind of immediate takeaways from staying on the sidelines. What the 3-point shooting, was that more you guys, more them, a little bit of both?
I think a little bit of both. I think obviously some games you don't shoot well, and today was that day for us. But I think when we watch it back, we're not going to like the pace of our passing. We're not going to like their dribble up threes or advanced threes, or not a lot of through the paint threes. So I think it's a little bit of both. I thought it's hard to tell guys not to take open shots, but then if you're not making them, it would be great if you would find a different shot, and we didn't do that very well.
Well, in the first half, was it just lack of ball movement? Was that one of the contributing factors? It seemed like he had a lot of late shot clock shots as well.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty scrappy, and they switched at the point of every action, and so I don't think our post played as well as they need to, and so they were kind of in la la land at times, and so it was hard for us to have the depth that we needed. So I think it was a little bit of both. And
probably better having Nyla Brooks logging minutes on the court rather than Miles on the bike. That's probably. I don't know. Does Nyla Brooks ride a bike? I don't know. She was on the stationary.
Oh, was she?
For Nyla Harris. Nyla Harris.
Oh, Harris.
Nyla Harris, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think when she's not using it, somebody else is. These are good athletes that, in these type of games, when you're spreading the minutes out, they're not playing as many minutes as they're used to, so they try to stay warm.
Did you feel like most of the 3-point looks you got were ultimately things that you wanted people to keep shooting, I guess, in a sense?
Yeah. I mean, we're a better 3-point shooting team in my opinion. But, I think then we would run ourselves off the line and not play off two and force bad layups. I mean, we were just kind of like, we took a real liberty. I think we looked across the way and thought, well, we'll probably win this one, so it'll be a little bit less sharp. But I do think other times, I like both of Indya's threes. She made 1 and 2. I think I like both of them. I think Talia, that's a shot she needs to be able to make from the corner. So not all of them were bad. I just thought some of them so we also didn't shoot well. The combination of really not shooting well. I mean, we're up here fast because wasn't what to say after this one. We have to play better and we have to shoot better.
What was the key defensively? You guys had 19 steals in the game.
I think it's as much about us. I think we were pissed off, quite honestly. I think we were frustrated and pissed off with how we were playing offense, and so we just kind of they turned a trigger there. We were better in the second half with our coverages. I also think we had an athletic advantage, and we took advantage of it.
Coach, any just update on Waka Thomas? Obviously, you dressed out again today that you can provide for us?
I don't. I mean, I know she's working her way back, and she's doing everything she can to be back. And if it was anything long term, we would put something out so that people can stop asking. But we also we know it's a long season, and we have to be really mindful of these kids and how they can sustain the ACC season. And so if I thought she was going to be out for a while, I would say something. But she's working her way back.
For both of the players, how were y'all kind of after that first time out? There was a little bit of a shift in that defensive momentum. How were y'all sort of able to kind of shift that and kind of amp up that aggressiveness a little bit?
I would say that we knew we were kind of off today on the offensive end, so we relied heavy on our defense to kind of get us going in transition. We work in practice all the time on our defense, so just relying on that, pressuring, creating turnovers so that we can have easy ones on the offensive end, see some go in.
We knew we had to look inward. I mean, it was our own issue, communication, making the right slides. So we knew that we were going to have to be better if we wanted to obviously perform the way that we wanted to.
And in terms of steals, what do y'all look for in those? I know, like he mentioned, 19 steals tonight. What do y'all kind of look for, and what were you seeing from Elon's offense that you were kind of able to exploit?
For me, at least, attacking those lazy passes being in the passing lanes and just always being ready. I feel like defense, you just always have to be on your toes, always have to react to what the offense is doing, and I feel like I got my team going on that. I try to encourage them to do the same.
And your overall game today, I think your defense led to, I think you had 6 layups.
Yeah.
And you missed, I think you missed your career high in steals by 1.
Mm-hmm.
Just your overall game, it seems like you're contributing in so many ways. What did you like about your game?
Yeah, I know I can contribute to a lot of things on the court, rebounding, steals, all that. But it's going to be different game to game to what our team needs that night. So I'm just willing to do whatever we need. Always staying aggressive, and yeah, leading in that way.
Ciera, I know that Coach was just talking a little bit earlier about the veteran leadership of Indya. We saw that obviously with the game tonight. As somebody that was obviously competing on the court with her, what did that look like? Was it just the play and kind of igniting, or maybe some things that we couldn't see, like things that she was saying in the huddle, in locker room at halftime, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's done a great job of making a big jump vocally in practice, in games, like you said, in those huddles. And she also does a great job of leading by example. I mean, in the steals category, she's obviously very athletic and quick, but she also plays with her hands active and everything, and that makes us want to do that as well and also get those steals. So she just made a big jump in her leadership from year to year. It's been really fun to watch.
Ciera, how are you kind of adjusting to, I guess, sort of a new role, not only like as a starter, but as somebody who's, it's your job to go get double-digit rebounds a game and that sort of thing now?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's very different this year. And this year it's more about reliability than availability. That's been a big thing we've talked about. And I kind of knew going into this season that I needed to make that jump. Like, there really was no option if I wanted my role to be bigger. So I think just really in the off season worked on banging the post now. Like, I really haven't been a post in my life before, so I knew I needed to get a lot of reps at that. And so it's been fun to see that translation onto the court. And as far as rebounding, I think that's something that's coming back. Obviously in high school everyone's smaller, but here everyone's stronger, taller, and I think it's about timing, so that's been something I've been working on a lot.
Have you been, I don't know, like, has there been an emphasis in the weight room with Andrew, like just getting stronger?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this off season, I think I made a huge jump strength-wise, and I think that's playing a huge role in that.
Just from your perspective, I think we last game talked with Coach about this a little bit, kind of new skill sets with the players down in the post and how that works. How are you working together with just Nyla Harris down there, and can you kind of explain, like, from your perspective, what's your role, what's her role, how are y'all working together?
Yeah, I think we each have a good amount of versatility, which kind of makes it fun. Like, one of us can be in, one of us can be out, and vice versa. But I think sometimes we need to strengthen that, like, communication and just, like, mentally knowing who's going to be where. And I think that'll be fun to work on. And also, it's just, like, about communication. I think in the plays sometimes we'll get caught up on who's the 4, who's the 5, and we just need to clean that up.
What are the challenges with Blanca out and when Harris was on the bench for extended periods today for you inside?
I think it's just there's obviously more pressure to post, and I have to be the 5. I have to be the one posting. And I think I need to make that mental switch where it's like that is my job. That I always should be finding my player in transition, on the play, just making sure to find a body.
Was there frustration in the first half when you guys really couldn't get it inside very often?
I don't know about frustration. I think I just need to watch the film and make sure I'm hunting those post-ups better.
Coach, question for you, kind of, I think we hit on it in the preseason. We were talking about the NC Central game at that point, but you spoke about just the importance of scheduling that game for you all. Obviously, you got Elon, another in-state competitor. Next home game is UNCG. How much of that is something that maybe you're pushing for as coach for, hey, I want to play these in-state opponents, and if so, if that's something you're vocal about, why is that important to you?
I think that we have an opportunity to allow our university system schools to come play in Carmichael. It's a special place to play, right? And so if we're going to play, Liberty or UNCG, it'd be great to let Liberty play here. And then obviously whenever we can have Charlotte Smith, we want to play her every year here. This is her home. But yeah, I think you want to make your schedule such that it fits your team, which is why we have challenged ourselves, and then we've given ourselves. Obviously, we're heading out next to play, a Final Four team and one of the top mid-major teams in the country, and then we come back and we can play an in-states team again, middle of the week. So a lot goes into it, but yeah, the more we can allow for our university system schools to play here. We can't do that for everybody because there's just not enough scheduling room for that. But when we can find the room, we want to make the room.
You guys took advantage of some big scoring runs in the third, 8-0 run, 10-0 run. How important is it to get that breathing room to really see what you want from your team?
Yeah, I mean, our defense obviously triggered a lot of that, which was good. And part of it's hard too. You're getting so much in transition these first two games that you're not sitting in your offense at all. You're not sitting in the rhythm of it. And so I am asking them to sit in the rhythm of offense with 1 every 9 possessions being a half-court possession, right? And so I think part of that is the mental discipline that it takes to be able to then settle in. We've got a lot of young guys, and I think when even Ciera sometimes, even though she's older, she's still a young guy on the court, they something we've practiced 100 times, they just forget it. And you're like, what just happened? We just knew that yesterday, right? We're still having a few too many of those moments, but I think when the possessions become a bit more valuable, you'll have a little bit more fluidity, I hope, because they're not interrupted by so much of the transition.
You think that fast pace could have affected some of the set shooting?
No, I think that helps us, because you're usually playing out of a closeout. I think when we watch back the first half, there'll be things on both sides that were just blah. I would say you're either locked in, if you think about India's game, she wasn't perfect, but she was locked in defensively. So she did a really good job on offense too, right? If you're sort of, it's kind of like life. If you're locked in, things are going to go your way. If you're moody or inconsistent, then things sometimes go your way, right? So we just need to keep helping this team understand the importance of really focusing on what they're doing and coming prepared for that in that moment. And then good things will happen. We're still kind of working through that.
What was your message at halftime, and what was the general mood?
I mean, the general mood for this group is, I give them a lot of credit. They understand that it's the second game of a long season. They're just dying to keep learning. So mood is pretty much the same whether you're winning or losing, I think. But I don't remember what I said at halftime. It's usually pretty tactical. We show film, we talk through the things we need to do. I mean, it's usually pretty tactical. I don't remember exactly. But probably had something to do with ball screen defense. It probably had something to do with, how we wanted to play versus now they're in switching or they're in ice, and based on ice versus switching, what you're doing offensively. So some of the tactical things.
Coach, what would you say your takeaways are this week going into next week with UCLA coming up?
We're 2 games in. I mean, that's what I'm taking away. So there's more younger guys that have played longer now, and so there's more guys I trust. There's, where your holes are, where you're, they've seen each other on the game floor too. All this is really valuable experience. We know the opponents will continue to get stronger and stronger. We know that every team's going to get better. Charlotte's team's going to get better. My team's going to get better. Every team we play is going to get better. So we know that there's still a lot to be said, but it's just there's an experience that comes from playing basketball games that you can't get any other way than playing basketball games. So we're 2 weeks in now.
Quick question for India, and again, 2 games in, but it seems like you guys have a lot more folks that can handle the ball for you, not as much just relying on Renaya for extended stretches. How does that maybe free up something in your game or change what you can do kind of on the court with that flexibility?
I would say it allows me to run the floor in transition. Having so many ball handlers, they can bring it up and kick it up in transition. I feel like I've been getting a lot of opportunities against unset defense, which I feel like that's where I thrive. Other than that, a lot of people can start the offense. We don't have to have just Renaya start it. I can start it, you can start it, Lainey can start it. So it just gives us a lot of flexibility in that.
Courtney, if I could ask you just to kind of look way ahead for a second.
Yeah.
This year you kind of have this build up to the UCLA game, right? Like you have 2 in-state mid-major opponents right away. Next year you're going to play in Paris against Oklahoma, and then you're going to play in Charlotte against South Carolina. And those are probably going to be your first 2 games of the season, just based on where those games have been played. Was there a comfortability about, I think we're ready to jump into these big games right away, or was it more about
Opportunity.
Just putting your team on those platforms?
Yeah, I think the opportunity presented itself, and we scrimmaged Tennessee. We obviously exhibition South Carolina. We always want to play really good teams. Not a lot of really good teams want to play really good teams early, so there's only so many options, right? And so both became opportunities, and both the answer was yes as soon as we could. And there's other good teams on the schedule as well. I mean, obviously even this year we're going down to Cancun and playing 3, but there's other good. We have other good people next year as well outside of those first 2.
That you're getting those invites is a sign
huge,
of where this thing is going.
Yeah, good point. We feel really grateful. I felt like sometimes my first couple of years here, I'd be like, this is happening. Why didn't anyone call us? Like, how do you get invited to those things? You know, and then getting to go to the Hall of Fame Classic 2 years ago and play UConn, and now obviously getting an opportunity. Anytime there's one of these events, we've had to say no to some because you're already invited to one, right? And they're happening in 3 days apart. You know, we're invited in one that's 2 days after the ACC Challenge next year. It's like during exams, I'd have to, you know. So yeah, it's awesome to be invited. I give these guys all the credit that they've put us on that stage.
I mean, it's really quick on that. I mean, it's competition, but it's also an opportunity for visibility. Obviously, we talked about this. I know right now, like, not to get like too big picture, but like with like viewership kind of incentive at the AC level, right? Football, men's basketball, women's basketball isn't a part of it. I know that's kind of an ongoing discussion. You know, based on some of the numbers that you guys are showing, is part of that. You know, you have this Duke game right on ABC.
Yeah.
I mean, is that kind of part of the calculus?
For
like,
sure.
Bringing
Yeah.
viewership on TV.
100%. I mean, we were the number one team on TV last year in the country. This year it's number 2 behind Duke, right? So, you know, this is a team that's watched. We have eyeballs on it. It's important to brand value. You know, we feel like we're providing value to our brand. And yeah, any chance we get to play a good team, we think there's a good chance it'll go on TV.
Great. Any other questions? Perfect. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.